Thank you, Kobe. Again, congratulations to Gravity, but also to Cop, who landed his 500th kill right there at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Career second person to do that in NA behind Doublelift. Definitely a massive achievement for him.
Yeah.
And a great win by the team, pulling it back out of that gold deficit.
Yeah, it always happens to be like right there at the buzzer that they get that 500th kill every time, or a 1,000th assist.
Well, it wouldn't be exciting if it didn't happen that way.
Come down to the last 5 seconds. And yeah, you were talking about the fact that there is this gold lead here, that it was a very close game. Coast, I know you were thinking about it as well.
Yeah.
Every single game, Coast has a respectable lead at some point, and then
it disappears.
Up until they lose the game, they're winning.
You got to bring it back again, but it's so true.
Yeah.
This team really seems to struggle with their late game shot calling and playing to their win conditions and closing a game out. They really just give up too much in these very crucial parts of the game when your death timers are too long.
It seems to be generally being a bit over-aggressive and getting caught out. Right, the one win that these guys have, now I'm actually blanking because I thought it was against Dignitas, but it's not, obviously. That was actually one of their big tosses. But basically, yeah, like Coast just had this horrible time of making the good choices until the very end. The last 5 minutes, someone does something dumb, whether it's someone getting cut out and Baron happening, but it's heartbreaking watching Coast play.
Yeah, you just think about it, right? Team 8, bindings, right? Against Dignitas, Baron throw right there. This game, it was we're in the lead, we can't really pick the right fights, and then they ended up getting just pulled apart by a Baron that they ended up giving away. And it's really kind of heartbreaking to watch because this team looks in the lead. Like if you would turn the game off like 10 minutes every time before the game ends for Coast, you're like, oh, I know who won that game. And then you're like, no.
Yeah, their one win being Winter. Sorry, just their one win being Winter Fox, who full sub squad at that point. Like, oh no, their shot calling from behind isn't very good. Well, no duh. So Coast got to walk that one in.
Right. One other thing I do want to talk about with this match is the bot lane, because at the beginning of the day we talked about Kalista and how she had such a strong showing yesterday. She did come out with her one win today in her play. However, we noticed not such a dominating performance, at least in the early game. Definitely a little bit more of a struggle in that lane against the Sivir Janna.
Yeah. So there are a couple things in play here. So to break down the entire matchup, when we first started looking at this matchup, we were talking about Piglet getting really, really eviscerated. But that was a big matchup disparity. You've got Kalista, Annie, probably like the longest range pairing you're generally going to have with a Kalista, hitting a 500 range Sivir, so you're going to get those W procs every single time. You can't generally reaction spell shield and incinerate. You can dodge all of Leona's stuff, which was Piglet's support at the time. So the worst duo you could possibly go against and have for yourself. This time around, you've got a Janna, and Janna is very good against Kalista specifically, because what it oftentimes comes down to in a Kalista matchup is a one-on-one between the two AD carries. Kalista, very low skill shot reliance, and Sivir, in an actual AD carry duel, not super skill shot reliant because the W reset and attack speed are really good. So just having a reliable shield that obviously can't be dodged, gives you a bunch of bonuses, makes that one-on-one a whole lot better. We saw multiple times it was Cop trying to fight down below the Dragon Pit the one time, but Mash had a Janna shield, so we won. The lane matchup itself, not too bad either. What breaks down is when ganks come in, but okay, ganks, a big surprise, you get a kill.
So it appears there is a way to work around Kalista. You know, some sloppy execution, but there isn't this kind of like, there's no way, you have to ban it. The counter is banning it.
You have to be able to face tank it, essentially, which is what Janna's actually good at.
There's also things like Annie support where you can point and click her, and then you boomerang blade follow up afterwards. Just like, there's a lot of things that point and click are really good against her, and she's still extremely squishy as an AD carry, right? We saw a bunch of team fights. There was a 4v5 at Baron here where Sion came from the opposite side, locked up Cop, and it was pretty much GG at that point because of so much CC on top of her. So once she's in that fight, it's really hard for her to get away from somebody that she's been caught by.
Well, with that win,